Welcome to the Somatic Coaching Academy podcast. I'm Ani Anderson.
And I'm Brian Trzaskos. Join us as we explore the science
and art of trauma-sensitive somatic practices and tools.
Strengthen your practice as a coach, therapist, or holistic professional.
Master the art of motivating even the most challenging clients when you understand how to tap into and unlock your client's complete holistic intelligence.
If you want to learn the most cutting-edge, research-supported skills for personal and professional mastery, you've come to the right place. Let's get this conversation started.
Hi, and welcome to the Somatic Coaching Academy podcast. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Ani. How are you?
I'm good. You preempted me.
I wanted to beat you to it today.
You did. We're on episode 122 today.
We are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How are you?
I
ask you that?
You
got me off.
Never asked
you got me out of rhythm.
how I'm doing.
I ask you every week.
What are we talking about today, Ani?
Opportunities, Brian.
We're talking about opportunities. I don't see any opportunities.
Oh boy, well you better listen to this podcast and you'll be seeing opportunities all over the place after we're done.
Yeah, so we're talking about the opportunities that you likely can't see that will change your life.
I think a lot of times when we talk about opportunities, people think we're talking about the decisions they have to make that are right in front of them. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like people will say, you just said, I don't see any opportunities. Or people will say, well, I have an opportunity too. And then they talk to me about the thing they're trying to make a decision on.
Okay.
But when you talk about opportunities you can't see, it's not the thing that you can see that you're trying to make a decision on.
Right.
It's actually the thing you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity is actually to start to see opportunities.
Well, that's true too. There's an opportunity to see opportunities. Maybe we can just pull out a definition here for a second.
I knew we were going to go to the dictionary.
Yeah, so that we all
are on the same page
what we're talking about.
Yes.
It's actually a pretty short, singular definition.
Okay.
So when I looked up the definition of opportunity, there's not like a lot of variety around this. I think everybody agrees, like what the word term opportunities means. It is a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. An opportunity is a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something.
Well, according to natural law, that would mean that there's opportunity everywhere.
Correct. Thanks for coming this week. Yeah, so that's true. Opportunities are everywhere.
If it's a set of circumstances that make something possible, like that they're everywhere all the time.
Everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people think that opportunities only come like
every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
In a blue moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, but maybe we can actually talk about why that is. Because I think a lot of times people think that opportunities or this set of circumstances come about strictly through like conscious intention. So for instance, say I want to meet a movie star. I don't know, I'm making this up. And that might be an intention. I really want to meet this movie star. I really want to meet this person. And then the opportunity to do that might show up in a flash of an eye 20 years after I had that intention or something to do it. And so, but that's a conscious intention.
You really threw me off with the whole movie star thing because you just never would.
Well, I don't want to meet a movie star, but let's say earn a certain amount of money, or let's say get a certain job, or let's say get a certain car. I don't know.
You can go with the movie star thing.
You know, whatever it is. But oftentimes when we have a conscious intention to have something in our lives, to bring something into our lives, to create something in our lives, we're looking for an opportunity to get closer to that thing. But that's a conscious process.
Sure. So you think that's what most people think about when they're thinking about opportunities?
I think that most people think that that's what they're thinking about when they think about opportunities.
I think that's really interesting because, I mean, if we think we should be able to see opportunities, like, to get something or whatever, it actually doesn't make any sense according to the laws because we can only see things that are on our current level of vibrational frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, the only thing we're actually going to be able to see readily is the things that are going to help us get what we've currently got.
Yeah, that's very true
So
too.
real opportunities actually are always in some ways hard to spot or invisible to our current level. We have to really pay attention or those kinds of things.
Well, in our work with living the laws, our program, our year-long program, we talk about certain opportunities as what we call enlightened opportunities. And enlightened opportunities are the ones that are in line with our authentic intentions. Like compared to what you were just saying, in that the opportunities to continue getting what we already have are kind
Right.
of based on our current level of vibrational frequency. But enlightened opportunities are opportunities that would allow us to raise our vibrational frequency.
And go closer to our next intention,
Exactly.
which is one of the reasons why I like that we chose that term enlightened opportunities for that, because I think just doing that helps to change the vernacular enough to help somebody become aware more of the things that are in their life that'll help them to get to their
Yeah.
intention. From a manifestation standpoint, just using the term enlightened opportunity, oh, that means the thing that helps me get closer to my intention, all of a sudden helps to clarify a lot of stuff
Yeah.
around recognizing opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. But I just want to go back and point something out is that opportunities can come about. Well, I mean, to your point, on it, they're everywhere, all the way, they're everywhere
All the time.
anyway, all the time. We may recognize opportunities through conscious intention,
Hmm.
but opportunities also will come about through unconscious intention.
Sure.
To your point, if we are unconsciously or subconsciously programmed to get a certain result, then we're going to continue to have opportunities to recreate that result. We can also have opportunities present themselves through karma. So again, if we kind of step back and look at ourselves as spiritual beings that have a purpose on the planet. And so let me just use the word karma for a second. I don't want to use it in a strictly, I don't want to say dogmatic sense. A lot of people have a lot of
Think
feelings
I was,
around that word karma.
yeah, exactly.
So let me put it this way: as a spiritual being, and I know a lot of the people who listen to this podcast resonate and consider themselves as spiritual beings. So for those of you who consider yourselves a spiritual being and coming into this world, into this physical world with some type of agenda, if you will, to work through something in your at a soul level or spiritual level, opportunities will present to you during your life to help you to, let's say, shift or heal or change whatever it is part of those patterns are. What karma is, it's a pattern, because everything is patterns. That you're a pattern, that you have some type of agenda to change or up level or shift or evolve, or however you want to learn about that, or kind of think about that.
So you're not seeing karma as like the punishment kind of
No, no, no.
karma.
Yeah,
You're
karma is
saying
not punishment at
like,
all.
oh, that's karma.
No, I kind of think karma as it's
A
my
pattern.
purpose to shift a pattern in my lifetime. And it's interesting, just as a bit of a side note, but I work with people who get really frustrated at the idea that you only really have like one pattern in your lifetime to shift.
They get frustrated by that.
Yeah.
What do they think? There's like not enough to do,
Well, I think they think,
or that's
shouldn't I
kind of a big
just
deal.
do that and keep moving on? Like there's so much to do. There's like, I have lists and lists and lists of things to do and to achieve, and I
Oh,
want to achieve so much. There's so many things to achieve. And then we realize it's like, well, you're only really working on this one pattern your whole life. And they're like, well, that sucks. Like, I want to feel like I'm knocking off like 10 patterns in my life.
I'm remembering many years ago, our friend who reads Akashic records was doing Akashic record reading for us, and she said to me something like, "You're gonna complete a life lesson in this life and start a new one." Oh, it felt like so good. Oh,
Yeah.
yay! And she said to you, "You've been working on this one for a few lifetimes, and you're not gonna complete
Yeah,
it this
exactly.
lifetime."
And you're going to keep working on it. I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
that sucks. I
okay.
want to feel like I'm knocking these things off. But the thing is, it's like, you're on this planet for, I don't know, 70, 80, 90, maybe
120
100
years.
years, whatever it is. Um, but the thing is that that's just like a blip in time. You know, for 120 years for a person feels like a really long time, but on a universal scale, it's like nothing. It's like less than a micro moment in anything at all. So from a spiritual perspective, working on one like karmic lesson um, is enough.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Because they'll just keep showing up again and again and again and again and again. Anyway, so you'll have opportunities to shift that pattern like multiple times during your life. And it's like turning a battleship. It's like you don't just turn the thing around and off you go. It's like incrementally shifting it.
It's like looking at different facets of a gem. Like all these different, I mean, it's kind of interesting actually if you allow it to be. It's kind of like looking at different facets of something rather than feeling like, you gotta like get it over with.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you can take the pressure off that around I've missed an opportunity. Well, there's one going to be in your next breath. There's probably going to be an opportunity.
They're everywhere.
Right? They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. So they can occur on all those levels, right? A conscious, you know, you can consciously kind of have an intention and then look for opportunities to reveal themselves to help you create that intention. Opportunities are happening on unconscious levels. Opportunities are also happening on spiritual levels.
So I'm kind of hearing you say opportunities are created from within, opportunities are created from the external, and opportunities are a bit of like our collective what we're here to do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And oftentimes like the same quote unquote opportunity is on all three levels.
Right. Of
Right?
course.
Yeah. So it's like you can't, it's not always like, oh, well, that opportunity is a conscious intention. Well, how do you know it's unconscious? It's not karmic, also. Maybe the karmic intention actually showed up as a conscious intention so that you could consciously engage with it so that you can have a karmic shift around it,
Yeah.
right? Sort of thing. Okay. So why don't we shift to talking about this through a manifestation lens?
Okay.
Because we talk a lot about manifestation in our Mindset for Manifestation Living the Laws program. We have the Dummies book coming out
Yep. Manifestation for Dummies
in
coming
just
out
a few
in a
months,
few months. Yeah.
right? And that'll become and where we talk a lot about opportunities and
Mhm.
manifestation and opportunities. And that so one of the kind of foundational I wouldn't call them laws, but what do we call them in the truths? One of the manifestation truths that we talk about, and one of them is based around opportunities. In that, from a manifestation perspective, opportunities present themselves not to give you the thing that you want. So when people do manifestation projects, they like, right? They create an intention and it's like, I want to meet that movie star. I don't know where that came from, but I want to meet that movie star and I have an intention for that. And I'm gonna look for opportunities to create that sort of thing that happen. And then, so the opportunity is, oh, that movie star is going to be near where I live or something. I'm going to try and go meet them there. Or I've heard they like to go to this restaurant. I'm going to try to meet them there. Maybe there's an opportunity for that. But the opportunities themselves uh, present themselves not for you to create the thing you want to create. What they really do, those opportunities do, is give you
Chance.
a chance, an opportunity to be the kind of person that you need to be to have and to hold the thing that you want.
Right. So we tend to think very linear in terms of that's the intention I want to create. That's the thing that I want. This is the straight line that gets me there. But actually, opportunities are so much deeper than that because they help us to become a person who can hold and sustain that thing.
Yeah. So a great example that I like to share is we work with a student who wanted for a long time to own a house in a certain part of the country, and they had this intention for a really long time, and never it looked like it wasn't going to happen for whatever reason. Like it just the funding wasn't lining up, or the position, or the place, or the money, whatever. I don't know. And eventually, it happened, and the person had the opportunity to get this house that, by the way, like needed a ton of work, just needed like all kinds of renovation things and which was going to take time and resources and patience and all this kind of stuff. And so the person finally got the thing that she said that she wanted, and then when she got it, boy, then the real challenges came. because then it was like, oh my God, did I really want all this work? This is a lot of stress. This is a lot of struggle. It's a lot of decision making. It's creating a lot of issues. It's creating a lot of problems, like all those kinds of things. And so while it seemed like what the person really wanted was the house, and that seemed like the opportunity was to get the house. What the opportunity was really presenting was to become the kind of person who could actually create the type of home that they always wanted to have. And it meant for them to go through that process, they had to develop more patience. They had to develop more self-advocacy. They had to develop more and better communication skills. They had to develop better self-regulation skills, better emotional regulation skills, just to get through the project of the house. So what the opportunity was not necessarily to have the house. What the opportunity was is become a different kind of person, to transcend the limitations that that person had in their current life, to become someone different. And then by the time the house project is over, the person is a completely different person, right? Because of what they went through the process. That's really, from a manifestation level, what opportunities are really about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so another one which can kind of feel like an opportunity that's an opportunity that the person didn't see. In other words, so we're talking about opportunities that people can't see that will change their life. The opportunity was that the massive house project was the opportunity to become more patient, more grounded, more clear, more communicative, like less emotionally reactive, like all those kinds of things. Another example, is if you want to be like in a loving relationship, but you get angry and jealous, and that has been a barrier to being in relationships, then what life will actually bring you opportunities to transcend those patterns of anger and jealousy so that you can actually have and hold a loving relationship. And so people wonder, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep getting like the same thing again and again? Why do I keep meeting the same kinds of people that make me jealous or make me angry? Well, that's because life is bringing you those opportunities in order to become a different kind of person, to be able to have the relationship that you say that you want to have.
The thing is, opportunities are everywhere all the time, but we don't recognize them. And life and the universe is always evolving, whether we choose to be consciously aware of that or not. So, if you're not consciously aware of the fact that the universe is always evolving, what will happen is you will have things like relationship problems crop up or health problems crop up or whatever to help you get on board with the fact that the universe is always evolving. If you're on board with the fact that the universe is always on evolving, then you will start to see that there's opportunities absolutely everywhere. When you're manifesting, it's really important to have this relationship with understanding that in order to really be a true powerful manifester, you have to be healthy in your body. As you develop the strength to become healthy in your body, you will then have the energy to develop healthy relationships. As you develop healthy relationships, you'll be able to then work on your wealth and abundance manifestation from that place. It really is like a building block.
Mhm.
And I'm bringing it up in terms of being able to see opportunities that can change your life, because opportunities to develop better health that show up as health problems are opportunities to change your life. They're the universe saying, hey, get on board with the fact that I am always evolving and so are you. Like, this is what we're doing here. And this body problem is a way to like invite you in. Same thing with relationship challenges. When we were writing the Manifestation for Dummies book and writing the relationship chapters, the relationship part, I've laughed so many times because relationships are genuinely like constant opportunity machines.
Yes. Mhm.
Constant
Constant.
constant opportunity
You're
machines.
a constant opportunity machine, Ani, for me.
I know. Thank you. So, if you think that there's not opportunities, they're literally everywhere. And if you think about your body, notice where they're showing up in your body. When you think about relationships, notice where they're showing up in relationships. And then everything stems from there, because actually everything is about relationships. So once we have that solid foundation of being able to channel and circulate energy in our bodies in a healthy way, then we can do so much in relationship and everything. stems from there. And you
Hmm.
start to see that there are opportunities for absolutely everything in your life through the process of understanding opportunities in relationship.
Yeah. And so let's just take that and evolve that a little further. If we think about the law of polarity, which is a natural law, the law of polarity states is that everything is created as a whole. And but we tend to see parts of that whole. We tend to see maybe that thing is being polarized, if you will. So Ani's already pointed out that there are opportunities everywhere. And so here's the thing: life presents equal opportunities for resentment, anger, and disappointment as it does for happiness, forgiveness, and fulfillment. And so the same opportunity. Let's say your car gets a flat tire, and so we've been dealing with some
Car stuff,
car stuff,
car karma.
car karma, the last couple of weeks actually. And so every time there's a delay in having a car repair done, like that's an opportunity. And so I could meet that opportunity with anger and disappointment and frustration, or I could meet that opportunity with forgiveness and contentment and fulfillment or something else. So, but this every opportunity, everything that happens, you have a choice of how you want to relate to that thing as an opportunity, because it could be an opportunity for you to experience more resentment, more anger, more disappointment, or it could be an opportunity for you to experience more happiness, joy, fulfillment, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter which one you choose. Like, no judgment from me, no judgment from Ani, because the laws don't judge. But the based on what kind of life experience that you want to have, it might be interesting for you to think about, well, is the life experience that you want to have, does it match up with the way that you consciously meet the opportunities that are presented to you every single day?
I mean, almost listening to is like you either have the opportunity to keep perpetuating your old patterns or you have the
Yeah,
opportunity to change them
that's 100%.
with whatever happens.
Yep.
With whatever happens, back to this karma thing and working on the same thing for, your entire existence. Like, basically, we're going to have stuff happen through our entire lives, and you get to choose whether you like how it's going or you want to change it
Yeah.
up.
And the interesting thing from that spiritual perspective is oftentimes when the same thing shows up a few times and we're like, oh, now I recognize you. And whatever karmic pattern that we're working on. And we're like, oh, okay, we sort that one out. And then something else shows up in a what seems like a whole different avenue of life. Like maybe at first it shows up in the health field a lot more. Like, oh, okay, I get that that's my karmic pattern around whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it starts showing up in relationship stuff. And you don't connect immediately that it's actually the same underlying pattern, but it actually is. And so it takes us a couple of times of dealing with that one to go, oh, okay, now I actually see where that's connected to. So the more that you understand what your deeper purpose is, and the more that you understand how the mechanics of the universe work, you can shortcut that process and understand, oh, it's actually the same pattern I'm working on. Because from a spiritual perspective, we kind of talked about a manifestation perspective, but from a spiritual perspective, life will provide endless opportunities to evolve your perceptions, like things like letting go of old attachments, healing old resentments, old grievances. Like life will just keep presenting itself as opportunities for you to let go of those kinds of things. And again, you can either choose to hang on to it or let go of it, but life's not going to stop that. It's just going to keep it going.
I'm just thinking about that magnet that's on our refrigerator that's been there for so many years now. I don't remember exactly what it says. Oh, let go or be dragged.
Let go or be dragged. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Love that. Such a good,
Right?
so good. So good.
Let go and see the opportunities or be
Or
dragged.
be dragged and like be dragged under, and you're gonna have to deal with it again anyway. So, the opportunity maybe is to change how you're thinking about the opportunities.
Well, I think that is the opportunity is to start to see that there's opportunities all over. Like, see everything as an opportunity,
Yeah, right.
right?
Yeah, because that's the shift, right? If you learn to see everything in your life as an opportunity, like then you start pivoting yourself as a human who starts to vibrate at higher levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
That's like one of those shifts.
That's like vibrating at the level of acceptance, for
Yeah,
example,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
Rather than something like pride or,
Yeah.
you know. obviously fear or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. And
Vibrating at the
so,
level of acceptance.
yeah, because if you've listened to a podcast that we did very at the right at the beginning of the year, where we're talking about what we're standing for here in 2026, like we're really holding a higher standard to create a community of people who want to vibrate at higher levels of consciousness, not solely for themselves, but to help uplift the levels of consciousness in global humanity, because quite frankly, it's not going to work. Humans are not going to work without it. Like we're not going to be here,
Well, the universe is evolving and giving us the opportunity to
right?
keep evolving as
Yeah,
humans.
exactly. So what does it
So
look
let's
like?
like get on board
Yeah,
with it.
get on board or not. Let go or be dragged. I
Like
mean,
go
I guess is
right,
the whole
right.
point, right? Let go or be dragged. So what does it look like to be a human that operates at higher levels of consciousness? Well, if we look at like power versus force, let's just take a little page out of power versus force. The things are like neutrality, like you're just looking at the world from a very kind of a neutral place. Willingness, acceptance, which you already noted as well. Higher levels of consciousness like reason, and then love and joy and inner peace. Like all of those descriptors are just words. They're just words to describe an inner state of equanimity and peace and being able to see things as a whole in your life. And you'll keep getting opportunities for that.
I just want to point to willingness because one of the things that we as a team here at Somatic Coaching Academy approach everyone with the idea that everyone is capable of fulfilling their desires. Everyone is capable of fulfilling on their desires.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody's willing.
Yeah. True.
Okay. It's because there's things that you need to be willing to do to take advantage of opportunities. We're just talking about seeing opportunities, but to take advantage of opportunities, you got to be willing. So I love that that one was on your list because to be in the vibrational frequency of willingness, I think is a really like cool thing. It's actually one of the things I wrote down for my 2026. I was going through my life plan. I like to like get myself organized with my intentions and things. And when I did, uh, I love that we tell each other things that we haven't told each other in our personal lives on the podcast. So one of the things that I wrote down that I want to do is be willing to say yes to more things around family stuff. Because sometimes family will want to do things and I'll say I don't want to. I want to be willing to say yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to do that. What a great life when you're willing to say yes, I want to try it. Because you have more fun that way. And so, it's something that I'm personally committing to this year.
Okay.
I started to do it on our vacation a few weeks ago. And anyway, so this idea of willingness. So, listeners, I really want you to kind of consider that, embracing the idea of being willing to see life as an opportunity, willing to see whatever is in front of you as an opportunity. Because if you are just willing to entertain that whatever you see in front of you, whatever is happening in your life is an opportunity, wow, you can change just so much for the good for your life
Yep.
and enjoy such a better life because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if you felt like this podcast was an opportunity for you to become more aware of something you haven't been aware of, and
Go ahead.
you just nudged me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Well, I thought maybe you're going to finish my sentence.
Oh, I was going to say, and would you be willing to let us know?
Oh, that wasn't what I was going to say.
I know, which is why. Go ahead. What were you going
Okay.
to say?
And if you think it could be an opportunity for someone else to learn something about something they're not seeing, then let us know.
Would you be willing to let us know or willing to share it?
Willing to share it.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, usually I cue you a little bit better with my nudges, like, hey, hey.
Yeah, you almost knocked me off the chair on that
No,
one, so I thought it was really important. So, all right, friends, thanks so much for joining us again this week for the podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope that this conversation will help you improve your practice and change the way you think about your work, your clients, and yourself.
Continue your exploration of trauma-sensitive somatic coaching by listening to more podcast episodes at somaticcoachingacademy.com. You could be the trusted guide that people turn to help them with their most challenging situations and to reach their most precious goals. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time.